Hey kids, welcome to Glen's Drum Emporium. Today we start taking apart the Gretsch drum set. I'm going to tell you just a little bit about the kit first, just on a manufacturing level. The drum set is manufactured in the year 1980. All drums have badges inside with serial numbers and the model versions, what they're supposed to be: deep shell, short shell, drum wrap, whether they have lacquer finish, that kind of thing. This is actually a slight collector kit. I'm going to show you why here. This is what they call the Gretsch square badge. This is the first year of this, which was 1980. Only 1980 has Gretsch with USA written on it. Any square badges after this, I believe, have the established date of when the company started. So this one here is a one-off badge. I only had this badge in 1980, so making this a rare kit, just for the badge alone. The snare drum is a model 4166, chrome over brass, so the shell is brass and chrome plated. I've not documented the year. It's 1980, but I mean, when I'm talking documented, I don't mean the year. I meant to say the month, because the inner badge is missing, the inner sticker, but the other drums have it. I know it's a 1980. That's a giver, because of the badge. But we'll work on establishing the month of the other drums, because I have all the serial numbers, and we'll go from there. So I'm going to start ripping it apart. So anyways, a little bit about the snare right now. That's just going to give you a quick update. So the 4166, the difference between other snares by them is the 20 lugs. There's 10 top, 10 the bottom, and they're a two-piece, just like their lugs. The drum is, I believe, a 14 by 6 inch shell. That's without the rims. This snare release is not original. This is a cheapy, snappy snare that you buy. They're mass produced. You buy them at most of the music stores. They sound okay, but we will find an original, and if I don't find an original, I will definitely replace it with a Gretsch one. We want to keep it all Gretsch. So I'm going to rip out the, I think we'll start just getting the heads off. You got to assess the damage around this part of the drum. It's dented in. So we'll do that quickly, and I'll try and film that. Okay, so we're going to put a lot of the parts in here. These are like $1 at the dollar store, real cheap. Each drum has a basket, and then I have all these little pudding pudding cups, sorry, and they'll put all the fine screws in those, and we'll go from there. So we'll start ripping her apart just for the rims right now. Actually, I'll take the strainer off first. Yeah, you can tell this is dented because it should go past the rim, and right now it's going right into the rim. That's pretty bad damage. This is the most worried about being damaged. Well, it is damaged. So these have never been greased, so they are stiff coming out. I should say they haven't been greased since they were first made. And that's not uncommon. Most drummers don't know to put just a little bit of either white grease. I use Vaseline. It's a little denser, so the tuning rods don't slide out as much. I find white grease, you might find these back out a little easier. While you're actually playing and hitting, they kind of vibrate out. Vaseline, I don't find that. You can hear the squeaking of the threads. That's not a good sign. It just means over the years dirt and debris have gotten in there and mucked up the threads a bit with dirt, and not so much corrosion on these ones. See a little bit. Not too bad. So right now you can see the dirt. This drum set has not been cleaned in a while, unfortunately. And the skin should just kind of fall out, but unfortunately that rim is bent slightly. So I'm going to see if I can true it up and make it round again. Definitely took a big hit in this area right here. So I'll leave that for a sec. And it's definitely dirty. Like, look at this. This is a lot of bar dirt and all that fun stuff. So the reason this is not working is it looks like this is stripped. Yeah, this brass piece is stripped, and so it won't pull it tight to the snare or to the top skin to help mute it. Okay, so yeah, so this I don't know if you can see it. I'm trying to get in the light. This is a brass piece right here. This is stripped. Take this off because I truly hate drums being muffled like that. These drums are meant to just sing out, not be stifled by tons of muffling. The skin still feels actually pretty good, although I never use pinstripes on a snare. This one's stiff coming out. I almost think these are too long, but I'll do some measuring after. Hopefully they weren't replaced. They look original, but these are normally beautiful snares. They got quite the sound range. Gretsch drums always sound different than other drums. They were, back in the day, they were like one drum set for every other company's 3. And that made them a little rarer. Okay, I'm going to show you this issue which I pointed out yesterday. See, this one's somewhat straight across. That one's bent in. That one's in. They're all bent in. That one's straight. That one's slightly in. So either it was dropped or it was really over torqued, but I'll be honest, the screws I was just taking out weren't that tight. So I may have to replace this rim. We will see. But that's bad. That's not good at all. I'm going to try and straighten them out. I've got nothing to lose, but most likely they'll get replaced. I might even have some to replace it with. Okay, we're going to start taking out, you get hairballs everywhere. I'm going to take out these lugs. I'll have to use a wrench on those. Give me a sec while I grab a wrench. I should say yeah. Just gonna let all these fall in to the center. Man, those are pretty stiff. You can see the dirt on them. I haven't cleaned in a while. They're the old style that have a spring inside. So what we normally do is put cotton on the other side. That cuts down a lot of this spring noise, because there's actually when they vibrate, and you get 20 of them going vibrating, there's a weird extra tone in there. This is where the damage is. Yeah, these are definitely tight. I'm going to put an extension on this. Just to make my life a little easier. I could use a battery operated screwdriver, but I've always just liked doing things hands-on, so. I just find it more fun. Yeah, these are definitely stiff. So this unit doesn't look damaged. This is one side of the damaged or the snare strainer where the damage was. So thankfully that's not broken. A lot of these are loose already, so that's just from not checking them every time you change the skin. They should be snugged up each time. Because they do vibrate loose. Oops. The chrome is all good on these, which is a blessing, because some of the drum sets I've been doing lately, the chrome has been pretty messed up. Okay, that's one side. Let's do the other. And then we'll assess the damage. Like, look at that, you can see it's vibrating loose. So these have been loose for a while. That affects the tuning and extra noise. This one's loose. A lot of filings, metal filings. This one's tight. The metal filings are from the lugs being loose on the metal shell. That causes wear. Nothing too serious, and it's more common than you would think. That's why every skin change you want to check. You don't have to over tighten these because they're normally a torqued setting, but you definitely want to make sure they're not rattling. This one is tight. I think, at least with the top one. Yeah, this one's tight. Which is a good thing. this one's tight. So there's about half of them that are loose. So all the lugs are off except, let's get this snare release off. That's loose. Feel it. It just fell right off in my hands. No, didn't have to put any effort to that. Yeah, same thing. That's the Gretsch release. It's never been off the drum. It's still got tons of dirt. It's hard to clean in some of these areas. There is a rubber bushing right here. It's missing one. I'll look around. It may be in the rim of the drum. No, it's not. So it's lost forever. I can probably make one. It's just so when the snare comes up, it has something to rest on rather than touching metal on the shell. Anyways, just a little rubber grommet there. And this we'll try and get off. See what the scoop is. Definitely something stripped there. It would be better if it wasn't the brass thing and it was the shaft of the this thing here. That would make life a lot easier, but no. So the worst is it's the brass piece. That's not a good thing. Okay, so gotta watch we don't lose the screws for these. They use these little razor, I call them razor nuts, and they work like a regular nut, but they're spring steel, and they're easy to lose. Not all drum companies use that, just certain ones. Most of them are just regular nuts and lock washers. This is the part that's stripped, right here, brass. Yeah, strips all over. We keep all parts together on this, so it doesn't or fixing it, clean it up. Let's try this backwards. Okay, so all the parts are taken off. Put all the little containers all in one basket. Make sure we didn't lose any screws. I'm going to leave the air hole in. I don't really have to worry about that. And there's the damage. So this is the major hit right here. Look at how dented that is. So this one, it's close. It's close to this edge here. The top is, I can get that out. This is going to be debatable. I'll do some measuring. I might have lucked out and just squeaked by with it just coming in. But if it goes right to the edge and gets pinched in here, there's no fixing it. It'll end up cracking, and that'll be it. But I should be able to fix this and save it now. I just want to make sure that if there isn't anything else that's whacked on this. Yeah, so we got dents here, see, right here. So like I say, it was hurt. Yeah, so 2 dents there. And because this went in, this went out, so I got a little bit of a bulge, so it's going to take some time to get it right. This is dented too, and yeah, we're gonna have to tap a lot of them. It was very, very badly damaged, more than other drums I've had, but the one good thing is that it's brass, so it's a little bit easier to sand. Not sand, sorry. Flatten out the surface. But also, if you overhit it a little too strong, then you risk making it worse. So the top of the shell, I'm looking down the edges here. This is the crucial part, because on this type of drum, this edge has to be flat. Like if you were to put it on a marble table, you shouldn't see light coming from from this surface down here. Like the bottom has a snare bed, so you'll see a kind of a dip right here. That's for the snare bed. There's a dip on either side where the snare release goes, where those strainers go. That's made to be dipped. Not all drums have that, but most of them do, including the wooden ones. We're talking snare drums, only snare drums. And what that does is allow, I'm exaggerating, but the strainer to actually go kind of uphill and down, to get more contact in the middle of the drum. So you can see that big dent. That's heavy, heavy damage. And I was right on my estimate. It's like 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch in. But this is a nice edge. It doesn't seem to be too affected, but it's the bottom one. That's the, no, it's actually the top one. So we might be in luck, but because it's hard for me to get even in behind this lip with my bodywork tools, so I wanted this to be as close to being perfect as possible. So yeah, well, it is what it is. So like I say, it's a model 4166 1980, and all the parts are in. We need an original strainer, which is missing. I've not researched the key yet to see if that's original. Some of these drums, you see the air hole. Some of them used to have a magnet in them, and when you're putting your drum away, the magnet would be in there. This one doesn't. I'm not sure if some of you know that, but yeah, the odd drum used to put a magnet, so the drum key would always be stuck to the magnet. Pretty slick idea. Although putting that in a case with that sticking out might be an issue. Okay, so we go from there. Thanks for watching.